What if I told you that right now inside every cell of your body lies a hidden code that is listening to you? Not in some faraway laboratory, not in some futuristic movie, but inside you in this very moment. Science calls it DNA. Most people believe it's a fixed blueprint, a script written long before they were born. But what if that script isn't final? What if your thoughts, your emotions, and the words you repeat every day are powerful enough to whisper directly to that code and rewrite your future? This isn't just about biology, this is about unlocking a forgotten truth. The mind and body are not separate, they are partners. When you think with conviction, when you hold a vision with clarity, you send signals deeper than you can imagine. Modern research already shows how beliefs can influence which genes turn on and which genes remain silent. That means you are not trapped by destiny. You are not a prisoner of the past, you hold the pen that writes tomorrow. In this video, you're going to discover how to speak to your DNA in a language it understands. You'll learn why ordinary words can act like commands to your subconscious. You'll see how visualization is not daydreaming, it is programming. And most importantly, you'll find out how to align your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions so that your inner code begins to shift. Stay with me until the end, because this knowledge is more than inspiration, it is a tool to heal, to grow, and to step into a future designed by your highest self. The secret code inside you is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to speak to it? Before we talk about the power of DNA and the hidden code inside you, we need to understand the man who brought these ideas into the light. He was a thinker, a writer, and a teacher who believed that the human mind holds far greater power than most people ever realize. His name was Joseph Murphy. For decades he studied philosophy, religion, and psychology, and then distilled them into a single life-changing message: your subconscious mind is the true architect of your destiny. He believed that the conscious mind is like the captain of a ship, it gives orders, but the subconscious mind is the crew, silently following commands, steering the course of your life. Whatever you impress upon your subconscious, whether through fear, doubt, or faith, becomes the pattern you live by. In other words, what you continually think and believe is what eventually shapes your experiences. Joseph Murphy taught that affirmations, simple repeated statements of truth, have the power to reprogram the subconscious. When spoken with conviction and emotion, they bypass the noise of everyday doubts and sink deep into the hidden layers of the mind. Over time, these statements become scripts, and those scripts turn into reality. If you tell yourself, I am strong, I am healed, I am successful, and you hold that thought consistently, the subconscious begins to accept it as fact and directs your life to reflect it. Alongside affirmations, he emphasized visualization, the practice of vividly imagining the life you desire. To Murphy, this wasn't daydreaming, it was a creative act, a way to speak directly to the subconscious through pictures and feelings. The mind cannot always tell the difference between imagination and reality, and so by repeatedly visualizing success, health, or peace, you begin to plant seeds that grow into real experiences. DNA is often described as the blueprint of life. It holds the instructions that shape your body, your appearance, and even certain aspects of your health. From the color of your eyes to the way your body repairs itself, DNA has long been seen as the fixed program that governs who you are. Science has studied it for decades, mapping out its structure, identifying genes, and showing how these genes control much of our biology. For many, this idea created a sense of finality, as if once your DNA was written, your story was already sealed. But what if DNA is more than just a rigid blueprint? What if it also acts like a mirror, reflecting not only physical inheritance but also the energy of your thoughts and beliefs? This is where Joseph Murphy's perspective becomes both fascinating and challenging. He suggested that the mind and body are deeply intertwined, and that your inner world does not simply sit on top of your biology but actually speaks to it. In this view, DNA is not silent. It listens. It responds. It reflects back to you the patterns you continually feed into your subconscious. Modern discoveries in fields like epigenetics hint at this possibility. Scientists now recognize that genes can be switched on or off depending on environment, habits, and even mindset. Stress, fear, and negativity can influence how the body functions, while peace, optimism, and faith can nurture resilience. Murphy took this further, suggesting that the subconscious mind, powered by affirmations and imagination, can reach into this hidden level of communication. In other words, when you choose to dwell on certain thoughts, you may be shaping the way your inner code expresses itself, not rewriting the letters themselves, but changing the way they shine through you. Affirmations may sound simple on the surface, short, positive statements repeated again and again, but they carry a power that goes far beyond ordinary speech. Words are not just sounds that vanish into the air, they are carriers of intention shaped by thought and charged with emotion. When spoken with belief, affirmations become commands that reach into the subconscious mind, planting seeds that can grow into experiences in the physical world. To many, this practice may appear as mere repetition, but beneath it lies a process that influences how you think, how you feel, and how your body responds. The subconscious does not argue or question, it accepts what it is given. If you tell yourself each day that you are unworthy or weak, the subconscious takes this as truth and quietly molds your life to match it. But if you declare with persistence that you are strong, capable, and healed, these words begin to settle deep inside. They form new pathways in the mind, reshaping old beliefs and creating patterns that align with the affirmations you choose. In this way, words act like signals, vibrations that move beneath the surface of thought and stir the hidden intelligence within you. Science offers clues to how this works. Studies on neuroplasticity show that repeated thoughts can physically alter the brain, strengthening certain connections while weakening others. This means affirmations are not just empty phrases, they are tools for rewiring mental circuits. And because the mind and body are inseparably linked, these signals can also influence physical states. Stressful words can raise blood pressure and weaken the immune system, while affirmations of peace and healing can create calm and support recovery. When spoken with conviction, affirmations act as a bridge, carrying your chosen reality into the depths of your being, where both mind and body listen. Modern science has begun to uncover truths that echo ancient teachings about the mind and its hidden power. Neuroscience, for example, has shown that the brain is not fixed. It is constantly changing, constantly adapting. This ability is called neuroplasticity, and it means that every thought you repeat strengthens certain pathways in your brain. Just like muscles grow with exercise, thoughts grow stronger the more you practice them. If you dwell on fear or negativity, those circuits become dominant. If you practice gratitude, confidence, or peace, your brain builds those connections instead. Repetition is not just habit, it is biological programming. This discovery helps explain why affirmations and visualization work. By choosing the thoughts you focus on, you are not only influencing your mood but also shaping the very structure of your brain. Over time, this reshaped brain sends different signals throughout the body, reinforcing new patterns of behavior and emotion. In this way, what once seemed like positive thinking is now understood as real neurological training. Epigenetics takes the insight even further. For years, people believed genes were destiny, but researchers now know that genes are not fixed switches. They are more like dimmer controls, able to turn on, turn off, or adjust their activity based on signals from the environment. And the environment is not just physical, it also includes your mindset, your emotions, and the beliefs you carry within you. Stress, for instance, can activate certain genes linked to illness, while positive emotions and healthy thoughts can encourage protective responses. This means your inner life is not separate from your biology. It interacts with it constantly. Your thoughts, your focus, and your emotional states can influence how your genes express themselves. Science is beginning to confirm what visionaries suggested long ago: the mind is a powerful partner in shaping human destiny. Reprogramming what could be called your mental DNA begins with the practice of visualization. At first glance, it might seem like simple daydreaming, but in truth, it is one of the most powerful tools you can use to reshape the inner patterns that govern your life. Visualization works like training for the mind. When you imagine yourself achieving a goal, your brain responds as though the event is actually happening. The same areas that would activate if you were performing the task in real life light up even when you only picture it clearly in your mind. This is why athletes, performers, and innovators rely on mental rehearsal to sharpen their skills and strengthen their confidence. The subconscious mind cannot easily tell the difference between reality and vividly imagined experiences. When you consistently feed it images of success, health, or peace, it begins to accept those visions as part of your truth. Slowly, the inner blueprint you carry shifts, and with that shift comes a change in how you think, act, and respond to life. What starts as an image becomes a belief, and what becomes a belief eventually translates into action. Training your subconscious with intention means more than casual wishing. It requires focus, clarity, and emotional involvement. The clearer the picture you hold and the stronger the feeling you attach to it, the deeper the impression it leaves. By repeatedly returning to this mental practice, you create new instructions for your subconscious to follow. This is how visualization becomes more than fantasy, it becomes inner programming. Just as repeated exercise sculpts the body, repeated visualization sculpts the mind, and with it your responses, your choices, and even the signals your body receives. Step by step, you begin writing a different script from within. The body and mind are not separate worlds. They are deeply connected, and the language that ties them together is emotion. Every thought you think stirs a feeling, and every feeling leaves an imprint on your body. When you experience fear, your heart races, your breathing shortens, and your muscles tighten. When you feel anger, heat rises, tension builds, and your body prepares for battle. And when you rest in peace, your body loosens, your heartbeat steadies, and your system returns to balance. Emotions do not stay in the mind. They live inside the body, shaping the way it functions every single day. This is why the subconscious responds so strongly to emotional states. If the body is filled with anxiety or restlessness, the subconscious records that state as a message, "This is the world we live in, prepare for danger." It does not question whether the fear is real or imagined. It only accepts the signals it receives. The same is true for positive emotions. When you cultivate peace, gratitude, or love, the subconscious takes these states as instructions as well. It begins to create patterns that reflect harmony, strength, and renewal. Because of this connection, calming the body becomes essential in reprogramming the mind. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or mindful movement send signals of safety and stability through the nervous system. These signals tell the subconscious we are safe, we can grow, we can change. In this calm state, affirmations sink deeper and visualization becomes more powerful. The body is no longer fighting or resisting, but open and receptive. When the body finds calm, the mind follows, and in this harmony the hidden codes of the subconscious can be reshaped with greater ease. It is easy to believe that positive thinking alone can solve every challenge, but the truth is more balanced. Positive thought is powerful, but it cannot stand alone. It is the spark that lights the fire, not the fire itself. To create lasting transformation, the mind must be joined by emotion and action. Thoughts are like seeds, but without the soil of belief and the water of action, they cannot grow into anything real. Simply repeating words without feeling or follow through leaves the subconscious untouched, because the deeper mind responds to conviction, not empty sound. Emotion gives life to thought. When you speak an affirmation with true feeling, your subconscious takes notice. The difference between repeating "I am strong" without energy and declaring it with passion is like the difference between a whisper in a crowded room and a clear voice in silence. Emotion amplifies thought, carrying it deeper into the subconscious where it can begin to rewire your patterns. Belief strengthens this process even further. To believe is to accept a thought as truth, and the subconscious, which follows whatever it is given, will mold reality around that truth. Yet belief and emotion still need one final element: action. The subconscious may be programmed with new directions, but action grounds those directions in the physical world. Each step you take in alignment with your chosen thoughts reinforces the inner change. When you act as if your affirmation is already true, you give proof to the subconscious that it is possible. This cycle, thought, emotion, belief, and action, creates a complete system. None of the parts can work fully in isolation, but together they form the engine that drives transformation. Real change comes when all levels of your being move in harmony. The ideas once spoken about in the language of faith and philosophy are now being explored by modern teachers through the lens of science and personal transformation. One voice in this movement is Bruce Lipton, a biologist who has shown how beliefs can shape biology. His work highlights that genes are not unchangeable scripts but are influenced by signals from the environment, and one of the most powerful environments of all is the one created by the mind. According to this view, what you believe about yourself and your life is not just a mental story, it becomes a biological influence shaping the way your body responds on a cellular level. Another teacher, Joe Dispenza, expands this understanding into the realm of thought and energy. He explains that your thoughts and brain waves are not confined to the inside of your head but radiate outward, influencing not only your own inner state but also the field of energy around you. This perspective suggests that when you change your patterns of thought, you are not simply calming your mind, you are also altering the energetic environment you live in. By practicing meditation, focused intention, and visualization, Dispenza teaches that people can shift both their inner reality and the way they interact with the world around them. Alongside these insights is the reminder that transformation does not happen in a single moment. Habits and repetition are the tools that slowly reset the subconscious. Every affirmation repeated, every visualization practiced, and every intentional choice made becomes a thread in the new pattern you are weaving. Over time, these repeated acts recondition the subconscious mind, replacing old limitations with new possibilities. Modern teachers emphasize that lasting change is not sudden magic but the steady, deliberate shaping of your inner code through consistent practice. Rewriting your future is not about relying on one single method but about creating balance between mind, body, and action. Affirmations give voice to your chosen reality. Visualization paints it clearly in the mind. Calm emotions open the body and subconscious to receive it. Daily action anchors it in the physical world. Each part plays a role, but together they form a map that can guide you toward lasting change. When all of these elements are combined, they do more than inspire hope. They create a process that slowly reshapes both the inner world and the outer experience. Affirmations are the words you choose to declare, planting seeds in the subconscious. Visualization adds images to those words, giving them color and life, making them real enough for the subconscious to believe. Calm emotions prepare the soil, allowing those seeds to take root. Without peace, fear and tension can block the message. With calm, the body signals safety and the subconscious becomes receptive. Then comes action, the physical proof of your inner commitment. Small, steady steps aligned with your vision provide feedback to the subconscious, reinforcing the new script you are writing. Over time, this combination builds momentum. Thoughts grow stronger, emotions align with belief, and actions become habits. The subconscious, once programmed with old patterns, gradually accepts the new direction. The body follows, expressing health, strength, and resilience. The mind follows, finding clarity and confidence, and your outer life reflects what has been written within. A balanced map works because it does not leave transformation to chance. It brings together thought, feeling, and behavior in harmony, creating long-term changes that last. This is how the code of your life begins to shift, one choice at a time, one practice at a time. Your DNA is always listening. Every thought, every word, every feeling you hold inside sends signals that shape the way your mind and body respond. When you speak kindly to yourself, when you plant thoughts of peace, strength, and healing, you are not just calming the surface, you are rewriting the patterns within. Step by step, these choices begin to build a future that reflects your highest self, a future that is no longer limited by fear or past conditioning, but guided by the vision you choose to hold. If this message has inspired you, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Together we will continue to explore the hidden powers within you and share the tools that can help you shape a life filled with meaning, health, and possibility.